Saying today is a lie. Tell them I said I have all the documents. If anybody has any other document, let them present it. Has any other document, let them present it. So anything anybody is saying today is a lie. Tell them I said I have all the documents. If anybody has any other document, let them present it. So anything anybody is saying today is a lie. Tell them I said I have all the documents. If anybody has any other document, let them present it. So anything anybody is saying today is a lie. Tell them I said I have all the documents. If anybody has any other document, let them present it. 120. So anything anybody is saying today is a lie. Tell them I said I have all the documents. If anybody has any other document, let them present it. So anything anybody is saying today is a lie. Tell them I said I have all the documents. If anybody has any other document, let them present it. 120.
All right. So my people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Depend on the locations where they watch this broadcast from. We salute every one of you with better style. And we appreciate every one of you for your time. Make una carry una popcorn. Today, when you shine your eye, we deal with our Baba. Baba deal with us today based on the lies when Godwin Agu, the former governor of Edo State, the Okagbe of Obiomba for our time. All the lies, when the lies, they lie for a papa head, not before our big house. And today, the way we did the book and the ghost is all this why. Our Baba create time today when we all know Chief Omo Osagi, Utetenegiabi, Norigie Oba Dolagbonyi of Benin Kingdom. Baba Nimayayo. He did with us today when we want to see Pumat for this Ogbonge matter when he did grant. We ready gidigba. As a Kyogyomba, they throw mat to our big house. They follow one beer parlor to the another. The fee say he won't use all those things to give us bad name. Based on say, na so he papa do am when he take betrayed about Vorame. We say we not green. Anyhow, he want him, we did for him. And make una not forget, Edo Union, we did for London. We shine our eye. We won't see how many of una. We won't come out that day, go welcome Seki Ogyomba. We want know most of una. So many Ogyomba when they hide under the good people of Edo when they London. This particular time, now we go know all. So thank you all for coming once again. We appreciate every one of you. So make una free to welcome our Baba for comment section. Chief Omo Oba Dolagbonyi of Benin Kingdom. Chief Omo Osagi Utetenegiabi. The only man when they talk as they play. Wagbonbo Hiane the comment section rule that way of the Baba the created time in the Yarese. Again, now the Yamudiako Ema or maybe Tiebudo, not by Tiebudo. Olakoko mana amwe pare wa engu wa tie. Iso tu wa eke amwe papari platform wa kadwa report him Olakoko ne ni ma give wa go ahead. Yes. So thank you all. Please welcome Baba for comment session. We want to see a lot of comment to welcome Baba for comment session. At time day, we will see to receive 1 or 2 calls for this broadcast today. Welcome Baba for comment session. Otherwise, Baba wa total. I broadcast here phone or Baba you. So we now hand over to our coordinator, Overia Father. When you look the headline there, Debunking Uhundan Debunking Uhundan Utetenegiabi and Papains. Okay, now they in charge of this broadcast for Olakoko Shamba. So you all are welcome. Thanks for coming. So we now leave the stage for our coordinator, Congress Chrisley, aka Papains. The case he might be I'll correct him. Go ahead, coordinator. Thank you.
That's Olakoko, one of the people. I greet you for taking your time. And as usual, anything we concern the palace, I will not hesitate to come and join. So, Epa, Domosa, Domo Baba, Obokian, for taking your time. And as usual, I also greet you, Olakoko, I greet your fans, and I also greet those who they follow you, but where they take time they watch. So cannot feel cannot feel itu where I go book and where I so in your marry now or care okay knocking away oh no mooking away no care a carry over that God Obaseki no you done so or you malady away na to temata no robo ad ne dodo beg ekina bomuhuda then kekine inwi muhuda kene wata we muhuda kekine oge we muhuda or ima revena. So we are here today to debunk the lies. So that is why the part took its time, and I'm very, very happy so to come and explain it. So, and at the same time also, for those if you do not mind the birth of Midwest before Manadua, before we later became a Bender State, the birth of Midwest was spearheaded outside the royal house is by his father, Onokbanototana. So he's not only a chief, but he's from a line, a lineage that have paid their dues in restoration of Benin Kingdom, in seeing that our right was not trampled on. So that is why we refuse, because of who we are, and that is what his father stood for. We will neither be with the Yorubas or the Igbo, but to have a state or a region of our own, and that was Midwest. His father played a very big role, and he also sacrificed his ambition, let me call it, placing the interest of the Beninese above his political aspiration or ambition, because to choose between the prime minister of the Midwest region or the capital, he relinquished that opportunity to be the first premier of the then Midwest state to Denis Osadebe, while for Edo, Benin City to be the capital of Midwest. That is a sacrifice that tally with the sacrifice of people like Oloboshere, people like Asoro, people like Ogbemudia, people like Ali, and so on and so forth. Because he was able to place his dream of being the first prime minister, carving out a political dynasty for his lineage, but he rejected it and said, no, Edo will come first. For the capital of Midwest to go to Asaba, and for him to become the prime minister is a slap. He relinquished that title. So Ipa, once more again, I say thank you. On behalf of my family, I say thank you for coming out today to come and
on behalf
stand
of
there.
the family, on behalf of the B2 dynasty, I say, we thank you for remembering the history. Even though this same Godwin Nakana tried everything he could to trample on history when he was celebrating Midwest at 30 or whatever it was. But we just thank God. We always like we thank God. I appreciate you.
Okay, sir. So, sir, as of the topic of today, debunking the Obaseki lies, first and foremost, I would like to start with who owns the artifact. One. Secondly, where were the artifact looted? Thirdly, as they are returning it, where is the artifact supposed to go? I know where it's supposed to go. I know where the artifact was looted. I know who owns it, the same issue. But for other youth who were disfranchised out of pure history because of certain things due to the way the educational system of Nigeria is designed. So we will not blame nobody, not even the Obaseki. It is the fault of the government, and it's also the fault of we as Edo people also for not carrying the history orally as our forefathers were doing it, because that is how majority of us who are defending today, it is from hearsay what our forefathers said. And we also are able to make reference to it in the history book. That shows that our forefathers, they were right. So we made a mistake by leaving that vacuum open. But notwithstanding, as for we who know the truth, it is not the problem. It is the majority of our youth who don't really know the truth, but their ears is appealing to the big grammar coming out from the Obaseki angle, appealing to them, trying to use the economic benefit to cover a pure history, missing everything together. Is like missing Ogbolo and Egusi, confusing people, trying to play smart. So, sir, that is why I said it's 3 questions in one. I would like you to address and talk to Edo people, the ownership, and where was the artifact looted from, and where is the artifact supposed to reside as it's being returned back home. So thank you, sir. The floor is yours. Domo, sir.
Thank you very much, so that we have enough time to talk about so much. It is far gainsaying to ask a question. Even the ants on the ground, the birds in the air, the fishes in the sea, in the water, they all know the answers to these 3 questions. First, who owns the artifacts? I still want to use this word, this term, artifacts. To even use the term artifacts is a derogation
Degrading
of what these works stand for. They were not created for art. They are not artworks, so you cannot call them artifacts. They are spiritual works and works for records, to keep our history on record. So, well, for the purpose of those who may not readily understand the very thing we are talking about, we want to use the term artifacts. Now,
thank you, sir.
in 1892, when the British visited Oba Ovorame Nogbaisi, Ovorame in to commemorate their visit, gave them a piece of work, this artwork, and enumerated the history linked to that particular work. Then in 1895, they came again. But this time, as they were going back, they were not giving any art piece. They were giving pepper, they were giving rubber, and a few other things. I think they now got home and thought that, man, look at what they gave us previously. Look at what they are giving us now. These people are rich. And the Portuguese have already written so much about Benin, Alfonso da Vero, and others. They have written so well about it. Imagine to describe Benin as a city cleaner, better managed than Lisbon in Portugal. Lisbon at that time was a force to reckon with. Portugal was among the world powers as at that time.
Was the world power?
So, yes. Then they came back in 1896, trying to force themselves into Benin. We all know their history. We all know their history. And they were pushed back. You cannot now. And so, in January again, 1897, they still came that they must see His Royal Majesty. Oh, not this time. Because after Igwe is Agwe. Agwe is a festival of fast and prayers for the land, for a new season, new year. And because His Majesty is fasting, you cannot see him at that time. He does not receive strangers. And even only when His Majesty is going through the Agwe festival, only very few chiefs that enter that category can see him. Now, we all know the history, we all know what happened. The next thing, they came back by February, burnt down the place. They were not interested in the pepper and any other thing that has been given to them, but the works, our spiritual works, designed as art, which they call artifacts. When they took these artifacts away, they did not take it from my father's house. They did not take it from area father's house. They did not take it from anywhere else, not even along Igun streets. It used to be Igun quarters, where these things are made. They took everything from the burnt palace. And so now it is time to start bringing them back. What the people do not know, when Omonoba Egwai no giver Ogidigan was still Omonorowa before he became a Daiken, there was an event in the palace where he he told somebody. I think that was when some of the works, about 2 objects, were returned. That these things, these works will be returned, or else they will never know peace. So a lot of people that heard that day, they took it for just another word, another statement. And High Priest Osemege Ebohon also prophesied that in his time, these works will come back. Then, while in Uselu, as a Daken Uselu, some diplomats came to visit him in Uselu. As a diplomat, as an ex-diplomat, if I may use that word, if there is anything like ex-diplomat. A diplomat is a diplomat. As a diplomat, they came to visit. He stated it again, that by the grace of God and our ancestors, in his time, these things, these artifacts will be returned, or they will never have peace. That he implores, he wakes up the spirits, the elements in each of these works, artifacts, in their different places where they are forcefully kept, to start troubling the people, and they begin to return them. That is exactly what is happening today. A lot of people who listened to that statement, or for the few of us who were fortunate, highly privileged to be there, to have heard when His Majesty made that statement. A lot of people took it as another statement. In less than 2 years on the throne, they started returning. If we can remember, the first set of Ebo that returned these items with them, one of them said his house was no longer at peace, was hearing noises, movements. So he had to return this item to the very source where it was taken from, by his whether grandfather or great-grandfather. So if this thing is happening, one that has stolen your cloth is returning it. Should he not return it to the very place he stole it from? Should he not return it to the museum in Ring Road? So for Godwin Obaseki, most unfortunate that he has now made everybody to be, through him, insulting the family. The Obaseki family is a noble family. So I feel pained when, because of one ineffectual buffoon, one Nerere Magba Agege, we now get people to be insulting the entire family. A family that has produced nobles, great men and women. Too unfortunate. I heard that one where he has all the documents. You have the documents. You are not presenting it to us in Edo State where you ruled as governor for 8 years. You are going to London, to Manchester, to Newcastle to be presenting it to people who never knew you. So that scumbag called Albert that are also giving space for people to be insulting his parents. Not knowing what Albert is doing. Agi legba bati tie bone erin avijian. Edowe obime ukiana egi alegbewe di oja gume egi alegbewe tie bo gume. But these ineffectual bofu, these scumbags of elements, agi legbian tie bo gerin avijian. For a parent to come out and deny a child, so it's very unfortunate. So all these items will be returned. I'm not using should be returned. I'm saying will be returned and must be returned to the very spot they were stolen from, the palace of the Oba of Benin.
Thank you,
From
sir.
Iwebu.
Thank you, sir. For you to further, you are going to continue. The floor is yours, sir. For you to continue. I would like you also, because he said he has the evidence, and it is historical fact that his own father's house was not burned down. Is it not right for us to ask him to give us any historical artifact that he still has? Because if such beautiful artifact can be looted from the house of a lot of people, according to him, said from Benin people, commoners and all, according to him. So his father, who was as at then prominent due to the upliftment from our royal house, Oba Vurame. So they must have artifacts that will also resemble or like our Okoko Namure in Okboru. So I would like you to touch on it, because he said that the artifact was looted from different places, from individual, not only the palace. So, like I said before, is it not wise for him to use his own father remaining artifact that was not touched as an example? One. And secondly, how come his own father's house was not touched? That is second. The third, Epamudiasa, the third one also. How come also in all these issues, he said he had the evidence, he has the documents. Where did he get his document from? Is it from his great grandfather handed over to him, or from the British archive? So thank you, sir.
The Esaman will say, Mesa Banyanagma. He said, Tigbagmame, Jeme Godwin. You see, history was going to play back, but Oba Ewaye has applied wisdom to quell, to nip that repeat of history in a bud. Two major houses were not burnt in 1897. The house of Obaseki and the house of Ogiame. That is evidence of proof
Of a betrayer.
that they were the betrayers, the traitors, the Udianorakara. And again today, these two people have their represent, and they are the Uhundan within the family. The Obaseki family is not for this. The Ogiamie of Benin is not for this. So they now got people, snitches in these families to be doing this. We have a lot of Benin people who have entered that Obaseki house.
Yes, sir.
And we know that there are no works of art there. If they have now, they are just placed there. Thank God the Oibo man can
Get it.
get the date of when those things were made. They have the materials. It is the blood of betrayal that made those two houses not to be burnt. That's very close to the palace, very close to Ogbe. In one of my poems, I said, "A two not way bugbine or Yogbe himwe. We nana mie we Ogbe ni gbegbe no mono bama ya igui ehiana hin pono nyagan."
Meaning in English, sir. Explain.
The cannon that was shot in Ugbine burned Ogbe to ashes. Ogbe, that is the blanket that the Oba uses in covering his body, now turned to rags. It's my poem, a poem I wrote in 1986. So it is a pity, actually, that these two families, they are still involved in what is happening to them. Or let me not say the families, these two names are still involved in what has come up. Every work of art, those spiritual works that were taken from the palace. Pictorial evidence show it is everywhere. We have never seen any picture of where the white men who stole these things stood by Ukure, or everything they took from any other place. Not even in Iduigun, Besama, where these things are made. No. We saw Iwebo, Iwegwa, Oderie, Urerie, and those places. Not anywhere else. So the evidence he had, he should bring them to the Edo State House of Assembly probe committee. Let him come and tell us. Let him come and show us. And those, I don't want to use certain words because of your page. Abu Dani ni lelekia ni begogo lele ni afie goge mieteme. No emu bi o ma esun e obi o wana gbon emi o ma emu bi emi.
Thank you, sir.
O ma emi kere ame ya la uko na mafia derite mu orivun. Atwe agbene ugbemu agbako e. Ekiribodo eye hiakia.
And we have war.
Eni ni Godwin Tobo e. We no pon mu sakpon me here e. We iye magareba egena ya gbe omori ya ni ubi. Oga we mi ogebo.
Ogi.
Eme police o ya dey. Ime nya meet and greet. Magwale meet and greet. Redo. Choose the location. Magwale meet and greet in Benin.
Okay.
Nde Edonu wena gbikpe zebo karioba. How can we meet and greet him? When man meet and greet him, akoko Edo. Ekeruna te ya also so keruna to ya me o ma ne gie makeke una ya megie yiwani. Imani kuimu.
Come
Awe
on.
a judge not judge a case. Ana muketi ni gari appeal. Appeal na do ka we judge ni o ma u ehwe no ne judge ni. Ana mukesi from high court. Ana muarie appeal court. Appeal court na ka we the case when I agwe a high court or magba only no where a mere teme or one judge in the high court. Godwin.
So, Babao,
Yeah.
Domo, sir. Another question for
Yes.
you. Very important point you make it ban. And we all know where AY the first no Girigan make a lot of prophecy. One that is so vividly that people can remember. If you do only oge ikoka. And about the invasion of Benin, AY no Girigan no cow. Or we make a prophecy with you. About returning
Yes.
of getting back our glory. Or we make a prophecy yo. Where I'm going to, we all know how truthful, how our ancestors and our creator used Epa Ebohon to speak for us as one of the last prophets, indigenous one. Yeah, a lot of people might say, what is this man saying? That is left for you. So we all know that Ebohon was our last prophet that we can still say, yes, with moral qualities, truthfulness, and patriotism, having it for his own people. He made a prophecy
Yes.
concerning this artifact, the return of it. So, sir, please kindly touch on the spiritual aspect of it. Because you also said that due to the skillfulness and the wisdom, because our father is a God, Oba Avorame was also a God, but it was already determined by destiny that that event will take place. That is why it take place. So our God-given King now on earth, Egoge Odoyare, and we prophesy where I have a view. So, sir, touch on it so that people might be able to see the link up, because when they were sitting down, he said this was like a betrayal of 1897. And a lot of people did not see prophecy manifesting in their present. They never saw it. Not that
Yeah.
they were blind to
Yes.
it, but because they were not informed of the issue. So, sir, link these things together so that people will understand what is really taking place, that as physical, so is also the spiritual aspect of it. And the two of them are in line together. Domo.
Now let us go a little spiritual and mystical.
Thank you, sir.
The spirituality of the Edo man is unparalleled. Oba Ewaye the first reincarnated into Ovoram Enogbaise because of how it happened in the first incarnation. When he came back, he was betrayed. And he has now reincarnated in Ewa the second. So there, let us draw the dots. Ewa, Ovorame, Ewa. It's the same one and the same person. Now, what is the spirituality in these names? First of all, Ewa, Ehia Wowa. Why? Ovorame, not by sea. The early morning sun that touches on all areas of the earth. If at that time he saw himself as the early morning sun that touches all the angles of the earth, in our small Benin kingdom empire, how is he going to make it? Because, but this destiny does not change. Destiny does not fail. No matter how much you pressure it, Ovorame is actually Ovunwie, not Baisi. The early morning sun that rises and touches all the corners of the earth. His destiny already said he was going to put Benin as a kingdom, an empire on the world map. But how could that have been achieved if the British thieves did not ingloriously invade the kingdom and took away precious elements? And these elements, representing the early morning sun of the Benin Empire, was now taken to all the corners of the world. So that name, the spiritual and prophetic meaning of that name was achieved. It was like when it's a Bible, where Jesus, with all the powers, with all the elements in him, with everything, he could be betrayed, and he didn't know. He knew, but to fulfill the prophecy, he had to let it be. So for that name to be achieved, and then when he refused to return from Calabar to Benin, he was not held in captivity for up to 3 years, but he refused because of the betrayal of love and trust. He refused to come back because of the betrayal of love and trust of the people, of his chiefs, of his closest friend, knowing that they grew up together.
That is Ago. We are talking about Ago.
Exactly. The mother of Uswanlele, the second son of Oba Ovorame, was the daughter of Ugbedoyo.
Okay.
Ugbedoyo is the father of Obaseki, the father of Egobami, is the father of Ekwase Sonyemuwa. So one of the daughters, that was how close they were. And there was nothing Ovorame would not tell Obaseki. The title Obaseki was actually a title in Iwegwa. Iwegwa is the closest to the Oba of Benin. For a title to be in Iwegwa, it means you have a spiritual and love proximity to the Oba. And you must not be seen or heard to betray the Oba. But I would not Obaseki betrayed that trust, betrayed that love for inglorious ambition. And so His Majesty Ovorame refused to come back. When the son, the crown prince, Oko Agwabasimi, would go, Babagade, no. That was why the young man could not become the Oba almost immediately. He had to wait until his time, when his own son would rise. Before then, Obaseki was building what they now call Ogbe. He built
Sorry,
it
sir.
like a palace.
Sorry, sir. Was the house formerly there before the European invasion? The Obaseki palace that he built before, they wanted to use for the palace. Was that location his own domain before the British invasion?
That particular location was his house. Behind that very house, the Obaseki, was his father's house.
Okay.
That is the one that was not touched. That's the one that was not touched by the British fire.
Every other houses around the area was burned down.
Yes, it's Ogbe now. So that is it now expanded.
Sir, for the listeners, how there must be a sign or a way for him to show his house to the British, or for the British to recognize his house, not to touch it, because these were soldiers who were not familiar. Because an invasion, you must, according to military tactics, you must give a sign or something for them to recognize this house is not supposed to be touched. Because how would they know?
When they were coming in 1895, 1896, 1897, they were also, the British and Obaseki were holding meetings in that house because of trust and love. It was he, the Omonoba Ovorame Nogbaisi, empowered, authorized, to
represent the kingdom,
to represent the palace, holding court with the white men. There was no way they would be seeing the Oba every day. So he was in charge of trade and commerce. He was the Minister of Trade and Commerce.
Okay.
And that is why the title Obaseki Denyaki. So when he now built it, he now renovated it, expanded it, they saw that he was building it like a palace with Ura. They reported the matter to Omonoba in Calabar. He only smiled. Oba Temena Bagie. He only smiled and said, just like that, with a wave of the hand, that place was going to be a market square.
And did that prophecy manifest, sir?
What is it till today? Or where Gwe? Eki, Oboyewa. What
and
is
that prophecy come to pass, and it manifested.
Definitely, it manifested. So that is why that place remains a market. The places they built to be Uga are now parking store for Igbo. It's as simple as that. So
So
we will appreciate Godwin Nese Obaseki. Funnily, his father, Uncle Roland, is one of the best Obasekis that have come up in this life. Roland, one of the best of the Obasekis, sired such kind of child. So it's most unfortunate that of mercy or be of madam. Godwin, we will appreciate no laho. We are begging. We are begging. So rapturously, we are begging. No laho. Please show us your evidence. If you cannot come right now, Godwin here, I'm evidence. Social media, Abat has not posted it. Something is wrong somewhere.
okay,
They
sir.
should post it.
Another question for you, sir, for the audience,
Yes.
because the people are sending it to me.
Okay.
That I know, you know, Olakoko know, due to the family also, they have been loyal also to the palace. But for the others who did not know my and the Obaseki media spokesman, the self-appointed media spokesman said, Ago did not betray the kingdom. The video are there, authorized by Obaseki, that he did not betray the kingdom, that what he tried to do for the benefit of the kingdom is what Obaseki is trying to do now, that an Obaseki is the reincarnation of Ago. So, and he did not betray. So I would like you to, since they have been very, very forthcoming, the only place I saw truth in them is testifying that Godwin is the reincarnation of Ago. That is a historical fact. So I believe that. So, sir, the question is that he did not betray. Ago then did not betray, did not try to make himself king. For audience, for the listener, Edo people who don't know this history, who are still saying, no, Ogoma betray, Oga Agwe Bogwan, Ebuka planning, no Basteki Garon, we are trying to Migbina. So it's two story. As an historical man and a man who is armed with the truth. So please, throw light and enlighten our Edo people for them to have a full view about what happened, about Obaseki trying to crown himself and make himself king. Tomosa, thank you.
I wouldn't blame those hirelings who come up with such narrative. I wouldn't blame them. Either they don't know, they don't understand, or they are members of the Obaseki family. And so they need to defend their ancestors. Aru, Nori Obaseki was a Bedodija says, Zebe Oyogbedojo betrayed the trust and the love reposed in him by His Royal Majesty Omonoba Neduko Akpolokpolo Oba Ovorame Nogbaisi. The history is there and plain. Let us assume, not accepting by me, that actually he did not, he was trying to make things right and well. Why did he build that market and called it a palace? Why did he bear witness against the Oba in the white man's court?
Ooh.
Eh?
I said, oh, go ahead, sir.
He bore witness against the Oba in the white man's court, who took the white men to where His Majesty was hidden in the palace of Ezomo.
Who did that? Aro did that.
Yes.
Oh,
Also
oh.
asking them, who took the white men to Eko Logbose to fish out Ologbose, who single-handedly with his army fought the British between 1897 and 1899 for 2 whole years until he was betrayed. What are we saying? I cannot ask them now, the children who do not know anything, to come and swear. Just take a pinch of sand from the ground, ulakpa, and put it in your tongue and repeat that Aro did not betray Ovorame. Then I just take a pinch of ulakpa and the tongue and repeat that statement and see who lives in 5 days. They have the right to try to play defense for their ancestor. I won't go against that, but please do not bend history. Do not bend history on your power. He did everything he could for a friend. Let them tell us, in 17 years, 17 or 14, in Calabar.
17.
Yes. How many times did Obaseki, being the closest person to Omo at that time, how many times did he visit His Majesty in Calabar? Let them also tell us what now caused the great fight between Ezomo and Obaseki. It was the Ezomo of Benin and Obaseki that planned and took the Ovorame inside the Ezomo palace, where people, ordinary people, will not enter. And they kept him there. Who else was in that privy meeting? Only for him. Yes, only for Ezomo relaxing in the comfort of his house. Obaseki came in with the white men to say, Utigbeni, Onyanuze, Ikaranoguze, Bulaho. These people, they are planning to burn down the entire city if we do not bring out His Majesty. So let us just hand him over to them. If he kept saying he didn't know where the Oba was, the city, if burnt in 1897, would it not still have been rebuilt by now? Was it not rebuilt after all that?
Was rebuilt.
So what is the trick, the tactics of saying so that they will not burn down the entire kingdom? They will not burn down the entire kingdom. Let us give him out. And Ezomo was gagged, Agboku Yoakon, to lead them to where the Oba was kept. and he was flogged. He was flogged by the white man, beaten. That's my ancestral father. He was flogged. Because before then, they were even asked, who amongst you knows where he is? Amami Notari. And I was so, you knew at that time and you refused to talk. He was sick that he could not even attend the court sessions from the beating he got. When Uso Obayuwana, he stood up, Uso told Obaseki that you, just like Julius Caesar and Brutus, and you, Brutus, you are slit his throat. I cannot be part of this betrayal.
He decided to commit suicide.
Oh yes. So
You had to
that
write
was
down
now
how.
that singular act created the fear in the white man that if this man is not removed from this land, it was the same Obaseki that suggested it. If this man is not removed from here, like you did Jaja for Pobo, like you did the other, these
Nana of Ghana.
these people will one day clamp you and kill all of you. That was the reason, September 15, 1897, they had to march him out. It's very unfortunate. Why are they saying where he was not betrayed? Agbera want to do, but history should be said as it is, without fear or favor. According to my father, or do right, fear none. Do right, fear none. If you know you are saying the truth, no matter who is going to be angry, say it and get out of that place. If they can kill you, let them kill you now. They can only kill the body. They cannot kill the spirit. They cannot kill the soul. So they must not come up with such narrative. They cannot, they should not, they must not come up with such narrative that it was not a betrayal. What are they saying? The history is there. The problem with our people, that is why the white man said, if you want to hide something from the black man, put it inside a book. Because we don't read, not just reading. We don't investigate issues. We don't research. You see things every day. Just like some time ago, I was asking one of our chiefs, what do you know about this owo, the bird that flies to the back of the palace, back to the big tree in front of the palace, and from there move to what's here? Not Osa, the other one. At a vegetable market. And a particular time, every day, vegetable market, Oswan. At a particular time, every day. And to see all these things, you will not sit down to ask your questions. How is this thing like this? What is the relevance? What is the connection? The spiritual connection, the mystical connection. At a particular time. At a particular time, it goes to Alaka. At a particular time, it comes back to the big tree. At a particular time, it goes to Ogoswan. And later come back to the big tree. At a particular time again of the year, the particular period of the year, it will now fly out of Benin towards Ondo State. Have we sat down to ask ourselves, what is it about? It's a homework for all Benin people. Why you know, why you go along?
Can you just touch a little bit of it, sir?
Ew. In my capacity as a nine-way guy, there are things I cannot touch. If I have to talk about it, I will talk about what it does in Alaka. I will talk about why that big tree is there. I will talk about why the Oba celebrates Ugiyemobo there. Why Agwalo Toye? Why Agwalo Toye?
Okay, sir. So, Epa, the next question, so that Nube Miamia, did Obaseki tried and paid or bribed the British to crown him and make him the king in Benin?
Why you they say, please do not say it.
What Bizugbe a comment, Olakoko. So Epa, that the Obaseki tried to pay or bribe or solicit, which one way or the other, to crown himself, to make the British allow him to be the king, that resulted in my great grandfather, Ero.
If he didn't indulge the white man, why did Ero
Chief
now
Ero, my
fight him?
great grandfather. Yeah.
Yes. Is that again on Ero? Why did he now fight him? What was why did Ero now come up with Barioba? He indulged the white man. The white man came up with it where we will now have a Republican government. And then it was Chief Ero Olorubi that came out to say, Awawa, it cannot happen in his lifetime. Orioba. We will wait and keep soliciting and keep begging for the Oba to return. Every time, like every month or whatever, they'll be sending emissaries to the Oba to come home. He refused.
And is it true that Obaseki sent his son as a spy with Oba Ovurame to be informing him about the activities, about the state and welfare and planning about Oba Ovurame, sir?
That we don't have outright in history. It is only assumed. It is only assumed that such a thing happened. But we cannot just say if it actually happened, because we don't have it in history that either Obaseki himself or any of his sons went to Calabar. No. They never paid him a visit, courtesy or whatever. No. Never.
And can you also touch light after the crowning of Agobasimi Eweka II? Can you please, because Ago was still alive, please talk to the Edo how Obaseki, with all his maneuver, lying to the British, sometimes where our Oba was sometimes, I don't want to use the word suspended, push to the eastern side in around Asaba. A lot of things, creating another organization to diminish the Oba power and influence. So please, let the Edo, a lot of...
for so many years. So many years. The first years of Ewekanulugbenu Giver, there was turbulence. They troubled him. They troubled him. Was it not this same Obaseki that tuned Uswanlele? Uswanlele is the second son of Uvora, to try and fight Agobasemi for the throne. What are we talking about? They did so much. He did more than enough. So, in as much as we are not trying to pull down the noble name of the family, the nobility of the family, let us put history in proper perspective. It will do all of us a word of good. Yeah, history may look insulting. History may look or may sound embarrassing today, but it will afford us opportunity of change. It will afford us the opportunity of change so that we do not repeat the bad side of history. If the people had known the real history, Benin people would have been out against Godwin from the very beginning. Bene okoni woman haiga zuwa. Geri oboyo afia ewa. Kenuari oboyi na Godwin. Kenuari oboyi na Godwin. Afia. Very unfortunate. So, why this battery is gone down. I have
Okay, Baba.
8%.
You have tried and touched all area, and of which I'm seeing it here. A lot of people, those that know we are going Epagwan, reach me or reach Olakoko. So we have a PAN number based on history. Nuwaya Inepai. So Ipai is an asset. So now Olakoko,
Take one or two.
now we'll take one of please. A question wa nepa Olakoko, tell them question wa nepa.
Anybody that want to call in, just go ahead with your question. Hello.
Okay, well, don't move.
Okay, Matweo.
Question you say no when me marry now where Obaseki a video no 2 days ago now party where Obaseki came to set the record straight. So the only man they analyze it, need find a artifact there who any money do. Only me Poliba. Debe no Obaseki ya tani de mata bile no dia vie ogwe ma eke no ogwe ma na vie o ni atwe ni ma because ogbe ni na kiri ni ma ni buke ta wo gba where gba pana vie gba. So we need to set it so that I if kiri palata na a show here. Only me ni do de by another thing. In the parade taban second my second in if I tell a bed no ba the Africa the America no here the banana we a bed is so far from the way go the winter here the Africa America we power tarivani because in your man you eat a pa what ga we me na story na wa gbene you talk now we Lazian the as a story on YouTube. We need it to document it for our future children. Yeah, they need to or a voice in oil computer here my parents then I am manufacturer high. Here I story na
computer. I know we the computer ma. Then I am Evi anti ampo gear no the fast no. On your back here. Yes. On my way say.
Baba, answer the question.
We take the next one.
Error share to be Olakoko. Error share to be. Error share to be.
Here now or true name we answer it together.
Okay.
Well, who are worship now? They are taking the next call so that because the first question and the caller managed when we cover your
yes, Ekayaswan.
Ekayaswan. So on your so on your say now we now taking the next call. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yo,
you worship. Go ahead. What about one?
Okay, hello.
My no talk ahead.
Yeah, Buta. Catholic for most I did. Meno, size Muboroni, I know. Any roti, you contribute to your évident, évident, c'est akawa Obaseki we Utetenegiabi. Akawa Obaseki ya. No do we go flow, no love, no need. You raise no dance anyway. While we manage to guy na ya mi we egbe yi ana lo su ma leyin igbe ya sun. Nuga àwọn péjọ wọ́n àwọn àbá wọn péjọ àwọn Asia. Ogime. Era party ya party. Ebe na kwanana. Afiyan tugwe. I make sure we are sure example. Now me we are paying and I will be soon then. Unga ero mo ma ku komo. Era rije ma ku tefi. Era rije ku tefi. Era we ya ru era rije. Only
Okay. Where say? All right. Number there for comment section. If you get any question where you want ask, so you go free. May you call in, okay? Because person like me, I really learn a lot for this Ogbonge broker. Things they even my leader, congratulator father. He himself, I they was have and say he himself still choke. Many things the way he never hear before. Today now, he don't hear am. So according to this last caller, he let us know say about era the year redowa. Amase na ya inviting ya Joba no wa. O where about ni? Amase na gbome here.
Era bat. Ama we mi down. Era ma we mi down. Ije ma we mi down. Wa we lele yan be kaladin asin. Bege so kawe na bati jena. Yan ma gie. Na bati o ti en ekere de yan gitin yen ma be smart. Ani be kagwan. O ye bo ari obi e bo da. Odo aye smart ile ti e bo gie e double chief. Ma yan ni wahala. Yan ma gie ina je. Era viye la diane, nya sto la diane social media. Era na kawe, oko, aba, ugbera gbiri, te bobo kan adi, aziwe. Kenu wuri na, ni la fi pe die boy. Ama die kenu wuri na o. Inye, abie den na bio. O mani awu be bio wele. No aya ju hu yen zese, je eminu muhu obo edai. The man has come out and said that. So, Egwae Osanukumanya, Obama Osanukumanya,
They very kpakpa.
na Nekwe. Ewu, Omonoba keime omo uwegbeso na yaga yemi no rije keken no ma gedun o wa be ge yegwe okay hian wa ya tie ire amu enu we ada mu ene bija dona ozi awe na muere so kwa egwa mai ha we onyi me video ede na awawe mi we origi odun ne oye eja I bet me igi odun ni did you say so kwa nina wo mai so na you say ane
All right. Now you take it like 2 course. Okay, c'est pas. And Esekiogion pas dans les lèvres. Yakiana. Et maintenant, si elle avait des deux unions, no rari riani, ni un ladien. Et so on veut pas voler les Esekiogion by. What do you know yourself? Hello, caller. Go ahead with your question. Hello.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Evening, answer with question, and I just want to have my opinion.
2 minutes.
Evening, answer is that way. Many idiots do actual imagine when they can. A boy and not where you get to look at that in a man may not go big. If I may tell you where a boy and not where about to be now. In what we don't know. Everyone will palace a low, or not where about to be. No, that way about it, or that asking yes, because now we found.
Caller, hold on. Emine boy, not tell a triple shift, Malele, then on Africa give you some, or we a yagbo obi, Emine Tani, Makian Dayi, Mao, so now we don't fear with you. If you don't remind here, so no zoo amametic bobi, or mammy way yakon, who understand. So, a packet with you know, you need a one young any girl, lick at ye.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, good evening. Yes, go ahead.
Good evening. Madam Olakoko, my other senior brother to the house,
Domosa.
You're welcome.
I want to take your mind. I want a question upon the woman concerning what of the statement of Obaseki was making. The last video not making, maybe Manchester, I don't know how where artifact in the house you of do in your wife where some other people. If I make Guayo was we might give a Guayo.
Okay, Oma.
I have been a taco issue.
All right. OSA, we go there now. No, I'm married in Reno. Can we play the video again? I'll leave it the floor.
No need. No need. Ekpe the video, Olakoko. Take it part time.
So anything anybody.
Okay. Pardon me.
Go ahead.
I can't any anything.
Ewani Obukoko Baba. Oyano. Ewani Obukoko. Oyano.
Isi agbada wo nu tai. Imasa me you know. Isi agbada wo nu tai. Where God doing. Or have evidence to show and prove where any item, any of those items were removed from any other place, even if it fell on the street, any other place other than the palace. We don't do the my man. The Obaseki house, Amakwe Lao, Ogiami house, Amalao, Idun Gun, Nana Dunwe, Amalao. The only place they went to was the palace and burnt it down. How many people could, even at that time, have OTV doing gun na sinye yama? How many chiefs? Not to talk of ordinary people. No na me such art items wo or total or when na sinye yama or ye here do gyopa na do say yama. How many people could do it? Yeah, where this bronze thing, yeah, our collaboration. I might with a boy. So he has agbada will no dolotai where emi ya fe na vioe egwa monoba ne doko apolo oba ovora me no gbaisi wupo 1897 e ana vioe bi ari gien eno mudia ne luga ya fe ana sile ya ladia e foto okpaga aro no me ne bona mudia yo dawo wera ne bona mudia yo dawo wera tion ero si oe
Ogirime.
yana we ya vioe eno vioe ladia eno vioe ladia I will meet and greet here with Manchester. We meet and greet and show us the facts and evidence in Benin. Olori Buruku Oniranu.
Pao, because you mentioned the Igun. The Igun as at then, they were having, it's the Igun Guild, the Royal Guild. It's like the Ministry of Art and Culture. And
Yes.
were they responsible to the Oba, or it was a general in Niagara as at then was general, or were they employed for royalty alone, sir? Touch on this, Domosa.
Igun Igun was responsible for those broadcasts. Direct to the Oba. Oh, any way for selling now. Everything is a guild under Iwebo. Because Iwebo is in charge of festivals. So when just as in China, in the old China, where when the emperor is celebrating a festival, no one draw it or draw. Orima, Igbesame wa carve. Igwen wa cast. Igwen maton. Ono egungboha. We know what we can. Then Isekpokin. All these are guilds. They are all guilds.
After finishing the work, was it told publicly and so given to the royal, or everything to the royal house?
To the royal house. To direct to Iwebo.
So if this guild, Ministry of Works and Art and Culture, what with the way Maya define it now, we're directly, all their works were directly for the royal house and the court of our Oba. So tell me, where will the Edo have any other artifact that were looted according to the Obaseki? So where is this artifact coming from?
There is no way. It was not possible. It was much after that time, when even the time of Oba Akenzwa that deregulated all these things. And
to be so publicly.
Yes. And I do open people can now go to the guilds. Lahore, the owner. At that time, you cannot just what are you doing gun with in any gun akenu wani gun le akenu ri gun wado seven yama. No. Or Arigbe Sama. Very prominent chiefs. Very, very prominent nobles. When I have Ezomo Olia Ero, I have certain we carve the main door.
Only door.
Cover the main door. Yes. Those carved doors. It tells a story concerning the family.
That reside in that house.
Yes. If you want to enter the palace of Ero now, you will see the story of Benikpe carved on the door.
That's true.
If you want to enter the palace of Ezomo, you will see the story of Adesuwa carved on the door. In the palace of Ero, you will see the Ogele Muru issue.
Of a Kaladira.
So, yes. Those were the ones. Much later, when people were now getting wealthy, people like my father when he was here, Esama na Benedict no Esama Sanobo no ye do tome by de Gberamene. You know, such prominent chiefs, the late Esoban of Benin, such prominent, where people were now coming into wealth and affluence. Then it was strictly working as a guild in the palace. As a guild in the palace and nothing else.
Sir,
Yeah.
now because according to the same Obaseki, the professional liar, all these looted assets, they are Okure artifacts. Because from the way he was talking, only a fool is even better. Only a betrayer, because if a fool know better, a fool will do the needful. But a betrayer knows what he's doing or what she's doing before he decides to betray. So those people listening to him, those are the ones that will fall on that trick. He said Uhure and artifact, because I know he does not even know the difference between Uhure and artifact. He said all these items, we are a lot of our looted from our shrine, they call it Uhure. So, sir, for the Edo people who does not know the difference between all these religious, spiritual items that the European now call artifacts, and also our Okure. So, sir, touch and enlighten Edo people the difference between those two things. Domo, sir.
In the first place, Okure. Okure is not an artwork. It's a spiritual item. It works mainly on two things, two reasons. First, to keep records of the lineage of that particular family. And secondly, as a medium of communication with the past, the ancestors of that family. Ukure may be seen as just a stick, but it is much more than a stick. Ukure is a medium of communication. We have to talk to our ancestors. It is through this ukure, what you call stick. And then again, it is through this ukure we count how many have come in that palace, in that family. When you enter certain chieftain families like Eru, Olia, Ezomo, you will see the Awera beautiful with Ukure. I know that in the Ezomo family, we have as much as from the time of Ehenua to the immediate past, we have at least 13 to 15. The same thing with Eru. Enter the palace, you will see it's beautiful. It's just as you enter, it's beautiful. It's locked there. I got there because of Abi Biakana even Mena. That it keeps the records. In the some family you say a Henwa or dear a Keneza Osifo, like that, will be counting them down. The same thing with all these big families. So that is one of the. Then the second one is Awena Wera Warieva Neruwa Room Dig Binana no Bina. Such fam Omano Mokure Erieva Enera Bikmewe. Go to the Ukure, go to the Awera. Orieva Enera Oikwenye. We have seen situations where Ukure vibrate, react. So then, like I'm making examples now from the Ezomo lineage because that is the one I can just tell you of heart. Artworks who have nowadays, you say this is Ezomo Aweriagbon, either carved or cast, carved in wood, carved in ivory, or cast in bronze. This is Ezomo Osifo. This is so we have an idea of what it looked like before people now started using cement to mold. Cement was not part of our molding. Those that were using a kemba ulakpa to mold is a keneomola the wax near Yahweh. After molding in that red earth sand, they wax it and then put the so ado Jacob, so that when they now heat it, the wax oil melts out and form what we want. So you understand it. All this is to keep one, keep record. Two,
we take the last call for the day.
Yeah.
Take the last call for the day. Caller, pick your phone now. I worry there. I am party. Iya no wa book any book. Iya take a time here. Ruda where. Owe baba na him. All right. I hope say that particular question when they bother una, when everybody they say all of una won't ask. I believe you all don't they okay now. Now don't they okay. If another thing see the way they bother una, you wanna go free or call in or you put on for comment section. Please like the video. We have more than 200 and something people watching. Facebook and YouTube. Please like. Hold on, caller. Please share. I make una dey press their like your thing. People they will be say they won't hear the truth. Share and press the liking button. Okay? Who here tell you no here? And we give all bloggers. We give una right, make una cut any part. When I want cut for this video, make una cut am. Okay? We ready gidigba to the debunk all the lie of Obaseki. Go ahead, caller. Caller, go ahead. Go on.
Thank you very much, sir. I want to say a special thank you to our guest. I want to say special thanks. Ukakabu was your mother, so, is there no way we can banish Obaseki's family from Edo State? Like if we cannot be like if we cannot banish it, then we can ask them to change their names.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. But correctly, you supposed to ask Anna that Obaseki. That Obaseki not be named. I want not hear any name.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paula.
On the question, it's a very strategic question. Papa me mai kano e can pa ovie Chisefogio no. We all know it's Ago Ogbede. Even if I'm not mistaken, I will leave the floor for a part to go on. I believe where Baba Erediawa is the part that later dashed them the name, if I'm not mistaken. So let Epa brief us on it. If we can, according to the question, if we can strip the name or banish them. Domosa.
It's not possible. First of all, Obaseki is a noble family. Ago, Noduri Obaseki, Ekwase, that in that story, you Ekwase no be nego na maki nye no, you be me no rame, na olungbe no ibo. That's Ekwase in that story. And then a woman be a robber me, the slow and steady family. These are the children of Ogbedoyo. There are still some people that answer the trait name today. Ogbedoyo, like my brother Itagwai, Imotinia Ogbedosa, Ogbedoyo. You know. Then Oba of Niwirie or Film and Niwirie. When Obari Yeginine Obaseki. Enia eno no ogieno Obaseki ona dinyeki. The same Obaseki family oyewenya Oba Uyedo is a noble family. I hear we Dorun Opano Zua with the whole family was Zua. It's not right. It's not possible. We have had great men. We still have the JB Obaseki, the Oba Uyedo of Benin, a wonderful Obaseki man. Uncle Oyuki Jackson Obaseki, wonderful, God rest his soul. You know, and now Obaseki, my in-law.
Yeah, Epa.
In-law.
To flip it around, a question in man in Noeban. I turn it the other way. This is coming from me. Okay. You have mentioned good people from this family, which is with all these names you mentioned, these are truth and historical fact. There's no doubt about it. But what is stopping this family from coming together and give a combined, a united distance, one, from all this atrocity that is coming from the so-called Uhundan Obaseki? If there are good people, according to you, I know it's true. Don't you think it's morally okay and noble, and to show your patriotism to Edo people and Benin people that, yes, out of 10 children, one can be a Judah. And the only way for the 9 to atone or try to appease the mind of the people is to stand with the majority, which is the people. Why is this the family still silent? I thought maybe because the brother was still a governor, they decided to keep quiet. But from what we are seeing now, or what everybody is seeing from the former governor, who has not stopped, has not relented in his wayward, stupid character. Don't you think it is the right time for the family to come out and say, no, enough is enough. You are dragging us to the mud. You drag yourself in, just as you openly and rightly said the position of Obaze family. What the father did, the mother did, which was a noble cause. What is stopping the Obaseki family for also taking that same line? So touch on this, sir. Thank you.
Maybe you did not follow. Just before the re-election of Godwin, a certain side of the family led by Osaro Obaseki Motors, so many of them, they came out to denounce Godwin, to tell him that in all this he's doing, they are not for him, that the family will not vote for him. And then again, the same set of the Obaseki family came out when he was trying to impose Aswenime and my brother Ogie. They still came out, led by Osaro Obaseki, to say, yes, we cannot say you are not our brother, you are not, but we are not with you on this. Yes, definitely, even Hitler had followers.
Yes.
Barnabas was chosen ahead of Jesus.
Yes.
So it's always like that. He will definitely have those who will support him, who will refuse to speak. And in such cases, and most times, when there is money involved, he will go to the elders. He will go to the elders. One of the most senior members of the family, Justice Otutu Obaseki. Assuming somebody like that had come out to say we're a Godwin or more than or if Gaius Obaseki had come out, a Godwin, Nujena, Egbe, perhaps it would have changed, But evil triumph because good men do nothing. Well, we'll see.
What's this, sir? What's this, sir? So, Olakoko, we'll call it a day. That was a comprehensive. So, Akekpa, as usual, no, our national item. So, before the national item, quick one, just 1 minute or 2 minutes, your message for unity for Edo people, what they are supposed to do, not to. Olakoko Mudiane, your message just for your people, 2 minutes. Address your people with Kamia. Not getting hours Edo. So, please.
Like I always say every time.
Edo Union, ya welcome Meseki Ogionba. Iye doni ya Mudiake, Iye Palo.
Particularly Edo in the diaspora. Awe Ekwemu was Alungomu. Nereva Ogbe police. Edo ni boom on social media. Akawe Ikparagbon. Nasoro Nekerenikin. Iriga. Who is the Asoro of this generation? Who is the Eboikimi of this generation? If history was to repeat itself, there is the Oba, there is the governor representing the Obaseki and the Oibo. Who is representing the Asoro, Eboikimi, Ologbose, Uso, Ero, and the others? Where are they? In the words of the late Diju Edebi, God rest his soul, Esog Manuk Babu, or where Ikbeagiredo. The last time I saw him before he transited, that was the last statement he made. Ikbeagiredo. So When Olakoko tie now, it's a slap on the Benin race, where if we are doing that for whatever reason, is giving you dollars and euro. Now do mudia kenye, now do be na way. Hey. It's a shame. Any Benin man that does not stand with the Oba is an enemy of the red soil.
And a betrayer.
Any Benin man that does not stand with the Oba is an enemy of the red soil. An enemy of the red soil will be rejected when he dies. Unda ulakpa o igbegbe na ya gwe segwa salubwa.
You know.
So people, my message is this, simple and clear. Oba Ujedo, Oba Unhuagbon, Oba Adesagbon, Oba Odolagbonji. This Oba is our identity. The monarch and the monarchy is our identity. It is not even who is sitting on the throne that is just the Oba. It is the throne that is seated on that is the Oba. The only thing we have that still gives us identity is the Oba. Oba Gakpahinjeke Dori, Edo is a pwepwe and a bule. Miami, anywhere, we cannot come out with anything. The only thing, institution, Nigeria, where Oba it is because Albert Ebohia Bege anywhere is on the flip side of what the Oba and the palace stands for, or Anna setting Beubi. If he were on the path, the same side with the palace, no Beubi. And as Johnny Kam, and Johnny Kam, no Bama Mudiana, no reading, or meeting sorry about talk by.
It's let's say Baba. National anthem. Don't sir. Where's the Baba? Okay, Baba. Don't sir. Okay, sir. Don't.
I appreciate you. Yeah.